Jag Taggart 93 here with a really interesting one today. It's DeeDoubleU's 2015 map, Monster Training Facility. Now this one I passed over for some time for a couple reasons. First of all, its premise, which is pretty odd. According to the reading file, it says that it's based on the Stanley Parable, and we're supposed to be imagining that we're a monster in some sort of training facility. And that sounds pretty ambitious, not playing as a typical ranger, but as a monster in a training facility with a premise similar to Stanley Parable or Portal. So, and also the author says too in the reading file that we have to save often. Reading that, I'm thinking, oh, that's not really a good sign. I mean, ambition is a good thing to have, but the more ambitious a project is, the more things that can go wrong with it, right? And having gimmicky maps works much easier with Doom than with Quake. And seeing that that recommendation to save often, I don't know. When we have to save often, usually it's because the map is too hard, or the map is broken, or both. And in either situation, it's not fun. But anyway, I fired it up and I was pleasantly surprised. The puzzles in this one work pretty well. Probably the most awkward puzzle you'll encounter is the one that you come to at the very beginning. It'll take new players a few seconds to figure out exactly what they're supposed to do. But what you have to do here is that there's a zombie that's, flings its projectiles at you, and you gotta kite those projectiles into the targets, and eventually the door will open and you can go to where you want to go. Initially, it may be tempting to try to kill the zombie. Of course, you can't kill zombies with mundane weapons like the axe. Maybe try to run by them, but there's an invisible wall prohibiting that. But really, that's about it. The rest of the puzzles are pretty straightforward, and some of them are pretty fun. Personally, my favorite puzzle you'll encounter is the one with this dog that emanates a light. And that dog will be your one and only hope to getting across a section that's pitch black with a bridge. And the bridge just winds and curves like a maze, and it's very easy to lose your footing and fall off the bridge. But if you lose your footing, it's no big deal. You just restart from the beginning of the maze. And what you gotta do is you gotta kite the dog along, because it gives off this light, and that'll help you see where you have to go, so you can get to the other side safely. And as you're kiting the dog, you want to make sure you're just far enough ahead of it so it can't, bite at you. But even if it does, not a huge deal, actually, because you get red armor early on in the map. And again, it's only a doggo. It's not like it's a fiend or anything. So, again, pretty forgiving, and not too hard at all, actually. Now, bizarrely, there was one secret listed in this map that I was not able to find at all. And there's a puzzle that's not necessary to completing the map either. You encounter this puzzle towards the end, right when you get a message saying just one final test left, and there's an unmarked door that you can open. And when I opened this door, I thought, okay, this is the secret. But no, it didn't come up at all saying I found a secret or anything. Instead, what I got was another puzzle room where you have to guide a Death Knight to an exit destination. What you have to do is you gotta shoot at these targets, which trigger these slats to come out and block where the Death Knight is supposed to go. A really interesting puzzle, actually. I thought that was really cool and really well done, actually. And the amount of trial and error that probably went into making sure the Death Knight behaved as the author intended was probably a lot, actually. So I gotta give a lot of credit to the author for thinking this one through. It's kind of a shame that this one is not mandatory to completing the map, because again, it's a really good puzzle, really solid one. And I was kind of hoping too that if we got the Death Knight to the very end, it would trigger some sort of secret or maybe alternate ending, but no, nothing really like that. There's also another bizarre section too where it happens right before the glowing dog maze encounter that I mentioned earlier, and it's where you come to these bathrooms and you go into the ladies' room. I know you shouldn't, but you do. But of course there's a vor waiting for you with some humorous text as well. I thought if we kill this vor, it may trigger the secret that I can't find, so I kited an ogre in there, and the ogre helped me take out the vor, but again, nothing. Oh well. Overall, this is a really fun map, and it's pretty short, and not really that hard at all. I really don't think you'll really need to save often at all, but it helps, since there's some tidbits and some funny dialogue you might miss the first time around, so yeah, and there's a bit of replay value to this one as well, too, and I really recommend it. And I really commend the author for trying something a little different and succeeding in presenting with a very fun and functional product. I rate this one a 80%. It's pretty great, and worth a bit of your time. Alright, and that's all I really have to say about it. Thank you all for watching. This is Jag Taggart 93 signing out. You have a good one.